to tell you about how I did the buddy bench project for my school, and I want you guys to do it too. A buddy bench is a place for when someone is lonely, they can sit on the buddy bench, and another person can come up to them and ask them to play, and they can play together. I think it's great. And the way that we did it was out of plastic caps. I chose plastic caps because, while wood can give you splinters, metal can give you rust, but plastic caps help save the planet, is less costly, and it still prevents loneliness. I hope that you're up to doing this, and remember that you don't just have to be an adult to make a difference. You could be a kid too. I got my buddy benches through Green Tree Plastics ABC program. It's a program designed for kids to help in their community. It has helped me accomplish so much, and I've inspired so many through it. The first thing you have to do if you want to get a buddy bench through Green Tree ABC's program is to register. You have to register so that they already have you in the system, and they will know you when they meet you, and they'll just be ready to go. Who is ready to learn more about how to get an awesome buddy bench for your group or school? I am, and it's an awesome project for schools to do, and just any group, and I do recommend you to do it with friends. They will love it, and you will love it. I promise. It's so much fun and easy for kids to do. My first tip is to get the word out. Don't be afraid. The community is always so willing to help and so nice and good to you. Let's talk caps. You can collect so many different kinds of caps, but I find it really helpful to use this plastic caps and lids board that I made. It has some of the different kinds of plastic caps and lids that you can use to collect for the buddy bench. But you can also refer to the plastic caps and lids list on the Green Tree website. Now it's time to start collecting the caps. Where do I put them? How do I get the word out? Well, we put the caps in a 55-gallon blue drum, and that's where we put our caps when we collected them. But a lot of other people decorated really cute boxes, and there's just so many creative things to do. So let's start getting creative. Now, how do I get the word out? Well, you could ask your local pharmacy. That's a really big one because the pharmacy caps are a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier, so they help a lot when you start to collect. You could also go to your local coffee shop. You can ask a local baseball team to collect. There's so many options, and there's so many cool different places to ask. So you want to know how much pounds it takes to get a 6-foot buddy bench. Well, when I was collecting, it took 400 pounds, but now it only takes 200 pounds. So now you can get to your goal a little bit quicker. Now we're starting to get more and more caps. How do I keep track of how many caps we've gotten? Well, it's good to sort and weigh as you go. We weighed, but we also made this buddy bench progress sheet where we color in a certain amount of pounds each time to see how far we've gotten of the buddy bench. What if people don't know what a buddy bench is? Well, what I did was make a comic. And it just goes through and explains the steps on how to use a buddy bench. But you can also do a lot of other things. Maybe make announcements at your school, or you can there's all sorts of things. And you can be creative with it. Now it's time to sort the caps. Well, with this many caps, luckily you don't have to sort by color or shape. But what you do have to sort by is what is acceptable and not acceptable. Because if you leave a piece of metal in there, it could ruin the machines, and then there will be no more buddy benches. So we want to be careful and look as we go on We want to make sure that there's going to be no metal or like maybe plastic bottles that people might have thrown in there. After sorting the caps, you want to make sure to weigh. And you want to weigh because you want to make sure that you know how much caps you're collecting so that you can get enough for a buddy bench. What we did was use the bathroom scale, and first I weighed myself and then I weighed myself with the caps, and then you have to do some math, so you have to subtract the weight of yourself so that you get the weight of the caps. And we just use a bathroom scale, but there's a lot of ways. The caps might get a little heavy sometimes, but yeah, it's worth it. Yay! Caps everywhere!
You switch your cap?
My cap hat?
Mm-hmm.
Yay! The buddy benches do cost a little bit of money, but there's a couple of options. You can set up a GoFundMe account, or maybe you can ask local coffee shops, or you could have a school PTA maybe help pay for it. We ended up having an anonymous donor, but anyway, it's fine. Let's say we want the buddy bench to say buddy bench, so that there's no mistaking on what the buddy bench is. Now, it is done by a separate company called Signcrafters, but they do it down in Evansville, and they do a great job too. I think it's really worth it, but it's up to you if you want it. I think they do a great job, and you guys should do it too. You have enough caps for the buddy bench, but how do I get them down to Green Tree Plastics? Well, you can ask for a volunteer driver. For us, my dad drove us down with a big trailer, and it's really fun to see the finished buddy bench. There is a possibility of it being shipped down, but it is a little bit more costly. So if you can find a volunteer driver, that's probably your best bet. So many extra caps, and we're done collecting. Or maybe you've been collecting, but you're not in a group. Well, what you can do is you can donate to other schools, but maybe you don't know what other schools or groups are collecting. Well, you can join our Facebook page, or you can also go on to Green Tree's ABC Facebook page, and they have a list of groups that are collecting, which is very handy. So thank you. Let me give you a little sneak peek into the cap process. This is how the caps start out. And then they grind them up into these really tiny pieces, and they feel really cool too. And then they turn into this really sturdy plank, and it feels really nice too. But the really neat thing is that since all caps are different colors, they all look different, and all the benches will be unique in their own way. That is really cool. For more tips and facts, feel free to go to my Facebook page, Sammie's Buddy Bench Project, or even my website, Sammie's Buddy Bench Project. So thank you for joining me today, and remember to always be kind, and you don't just have to be an adult to make a difference. You could be a kid too. More buddy benches everywhere. You have so many extra caps. What if you don't know? After sorting the caps, I started to put the.
No.
Let's say that. Oh, who's ready to learn more about how to get an awesome buddy bench? Okay, start over the question.